Hey, welcome back to The Edge. Are you listening to this podcast right now on Twitter? Before using AI to help you with your next piece of content, consider the pros and cons of this choice. Google has a new tag that indicates content length. Will this impact click-through rate? And more, Barry, you're listening to News from The Edge for the week of August 29th, 2022, here on Edge of the Web Radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
We're looking at it, we're talking about it, and we're sending it your way. Welcome back to Edge of the Web Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aaron Sparks, the owner of Site Strategics, a digital marketing agency based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. We're covering SEO and digital marketing news of the week, separate from our weekly interview podcast that we drop about midweek every week, so we can get news to you even more quickly. All the news that's fit to print or digest or consume or digitally process. What? Nothing?
Are you done?
Not really. I got more. I mean, my AI writer was giving me verbs and adverbs and all things.
That's funny because your AI writer is giving me a whole lot of crap the other week.
Check out everything over at Edge of the Web Radio. This is Site Strategics, Digital Marketing News Desk. We're proud to have Site as the title sponsor of Edge of the Web Radio. Very proud of our team here at Site Strategics. We're one of the top SEO companies in the Midwest of the U.S. We're constant learners, and that's the reason for this show. So I'll take a little bit more time today talking about them during the show, but Site Strategics is a longtime sponsor of Edge of the Web. Hey, we've been around for a bit of time. We've been around for 10 years. Can you believe that? 10 years.
Old, not new.
That is old. That's like one of the oldest olds. All right, the Peanut Gallery member over there is Mordy Oberstein. He's the head of SEO branding over at Wix. Mordy, what's going on here? What you didn't even let me get through an intro.
It's SERP up. Oh, I'm sorry. I blanked out. I forgot where I was.
Nice. Not going to have to do the surf effect on this show as well. All right, so your podcast's out the door. Congratulations. Fantastic first podcast there.
Thank you. So in case you haven't listened, SERP's Up, podcast with myself, Krista Carter, produced by Edge of the Web Media.
Oh my gosh, he can never
Group.
do it right.
I can never get it right. It's like you can't get your phone number right. I can't get the name of your production company.
Yeah. So you tossed it over to us, and we were able to help you. Certainly proud to be able to be a cog in the wheel over there. You guys are cranking out some great content. I've already seen ahead of the future episodes. We're working on them right now, and good stuff. Yep. All around. Great expert insights as well.
So check it out at wix.com/SEO/learn/podcast. Did you? Yeah. By the way, did we give you the link?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's follow, right? You checked?
Oh, the link back to us? Oh,
yeah.
No, I have not checked.
You should check that.
I should check that. I mean, he was threatening.
You're working for links, right? We'll work for links.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I was told that editing this podcast would give us exposure.
Oh. I mean, I thought we had to pay you, but
okay, hold on.
Links and exposure.
Don't even say exposure to Mordy and just drop that like a grenade and run away, because he's going to take it.
I'm not. No.
Wait, are we worried about him taking his shirt off now?
I'm saying.
Oh, geez.
Oh, you're going to have to edit this out now. Just make it more work for yourselves.
I really am. Well, thank you again for the opportunity, and we're really enjoying what we're doing with SERP's Up and some cool audio effects. I got to say, we had some good time creating some imagery there.
You are the master of layered audio effects, I will say. I highly recommend you. Anybody listening to this podcast who wants a podcast produced, check out edgeofthewebmediagroup.com.
Yeah, I'll go buy the domain.
I appreciate
it's going to be easier.
You want to make a coupon code for Wix so you can spin it up?
Yeah, we'll just do that. Alrighty. First article. They're here for the articles, Morty. Not for the gratuitous plugs. First article over at Search Engine Land from Nicole Farley. Twitter now has podcasts. Twitter has now integrated podcasts into its recently redesigned Spaces tab. The redesign of Spaces includes hubs where users can personalize audio content together by specific themes like news, music, sports, and more. So the dealio here, if you've not checked out the Spaces, I've checked it out a couple times, it was kind of like, I'd say kind of a ripoff of Clubhouse, all things being equal. Is Clubhouse still around, Morty?
I don't know. It's on my phone. I keep meaning to delete it.
I guess that will be the death knell of Clubhouse as soon as.
So I guess it's around. It's around on people's phones who've forgotten to delete it.
They're holding on for Morty.
They really are. They really are. Well,
I don't even get push notifications like help! Don't forget us.
Yep. Well,
we're still here.
That was a flash in the pan there. Well, Twitter will automatically get this suggest podcasts based on the content that you interact with the most. Listeners can give the podcast a thumbs up or a thumbs down if the content is interesting or not. Oh my gosh. Twitter says integrating podcasts into Spaces where audio conversations happen on Twitter is another way we're continuing to invest in audio creators. To do this in a simple and intuitive way that allows listeners to simply hit play and go, we started with a redesigned audio experience in the Spaces tab. So here's my question here. You can't actually go search for the podcast. Twitter's going to feed up those podcasts to you based on your likes and your interests. That's the entire summation here, correct?
Yeah, well, for me, it's just another place you can find SERP upside. I'm sorry. But wait a second.
Yep. Exactly.
When I go into a Twitter space, unless I'm the speaker,
yep.
Not actually like in the I just turn like it follows you wherever you go. I can go check the news on my phone. I can check out Facebook on my phone, whatever it is that I have Spaces going on in the background. So I'm not even looking.
Right.
Like, are you ever in the Spaces tab, like engaged in that tab?
No. You're not.
So it's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird. I'm just wondering how they're going to try to get podcasts to. Probably a monetizing opportunity to get podcasts to be able to promote themselves as well in a particular content channel, right?
No one's gotten this right. I mean, people have always tried to like integrate podcasts into the platform and finding podcasts to their platform. YouTube's talking about this now.
Yep.
No one's really got this right. I don't think Spotify has it right. When you go into Spotify and you Google SERP, and you put in SEO podcast, you do not get any of the name SEO podcasts like SERP or Edge of the Web or the SEO Rants or any other podcasts that I happen to do or used to do. You get some like offbeat, weird podcasts that like I never even heard of before, but nobody even heard of before. And then if you want to dive in, like if you're on desktop in particular, if you want to dive in and find, okay, like show me the rest of them. It's not very clear how to even do that.
It's not very intuitive.
No, it's not intuitive at all. So no one's gotten this right.
Maybe Twitter has.
I highly doubt Twitter's gotten anything right.
Well, you know who gets it right almost all the time is Site Strategics, proud sponsor of Edge of the Web. Our firm is 18 years old and going strong. One of the top SEO companies in the region of the United States. Our specialties are technical SEO, entity SEO, SEM, social media management, conversion rate optimization, all focused on results-based marketing. And we also have developed a very unique way of curating content, subject matter expert interviews, just literally from learning as what we've done over time with the Edge of the Web Radio. And we actually use that with our clients. We can actually unpack some fantastic nuggets of gold knowledge from them and be able to curate that and process it into all manners of omni-channel broadcasts. So if you're interested in what we can do for you, just give us a call at 877-SEO for web or 877-736-4932. And I say we almost get it right because you know what? Sometimes we just make that mistake again and again. It's kind of like slamming our hands in the door whenever Morty shows up, right?
I was going to say, by the way, you say you are the one of the top SEO agencies in the region. In the region of the United States. Is that another way of saying North America?
Midwest. How about the Midwest? I forgot to throw that.
The region of the United States, yeah. The Western Hemisphere.
Just don't Google us on the Southern Hemisphere. We won't show up.
Yeah, okay. You list your service area. It's just Western Hemisphere.
Service area is just spin a globe and there. Yeah, that didn't flow that well. I gotta talk to our AI writer here to figure out a better intro for that.
Segue. Nice. Well done.
Thank you. From Search Engine Land, from James Hare, probably Hare. The pros and cons of using AI content writing tools. All right. As we understand, Helpful Content Update is underway, and it was actually focused on AI writing. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. But while there's value in adopting AI writing tools, they're not meant to replace human writers. So there's a pros and cons list that James put together here. And I did want to actually make the point here that we are in the throes of helpful content. And if you have written your content predominantly with AI writing, shame on you. Shame. Because, I mean, the deal is that it never was even intended to be that. And, I mean, it's almost harkening back to the days of Panda, whenever the world got smacked down by Google because people were spinning articles all over the place, right? That's to you, Morty. Go ahead.
Oh, it's to me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, that's my cue.
That's a cue.
Yeah, well, it's sort of a problem. Content is a problem, right? Content is expensive, time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to find a way to scale this. So I am not shaming people like you are who are using content writers. I understand where you're coming from. It's a hard problem to fix. The problem is that there's no shortcuts to it. And I do think, as the article points out, if you get stuck in an idea, you need to rewrite. An AI writer might be a good way to do that. By the way, SEMrush has a tool inside of their SEO content writer, writing assistant rather. Mm-hmm. There's an option you can use to have GPT-3 offer you a suggestion for like a paragraph. So you're stuck, you're like, I don't know how to reword this. You'll get 2 or 3 suggestions from the AI writing tool. Then I'll maybe open it up for you. It's like, I think there's a place for AI writers. Even John Mueller a while back was saying, hey, you know, headers, title tags, those kind of things, I would imagine in the future are going to be written by an AI writer. A product description, meta description. Well, those things I think you could do with an AI writer. Podcast descriptions, a little bit more difficult, Aaron.
That's interesting because I spun up a little bit of AI writing for SERP's first episode. I wanted to see whether or not Morty was going to take the bait, right? And he did. How did you sniff it out so quickly?
Like, you have such lowest, perception of who I am and my intelligence. I'm like insulted. It wasn't even good.
It was terrible.
But by the way,
it really was terrible.
I was talking about with Bar, who was on the team here, worked on the podcast, and we both thought it saved time. I thought it saved time. I rewrote it to make it sound decent, but it would have taken me longer to write from scratch, I thought.
And I think that's the only place that these applications are beneficial is to get things going, if you have writer's block, just like you were talking about. But there are wholly full articles written by AI. And where does AI get its concepts and content? From the web. It's actually researching and rewriting content that it sees out there. That's borderline, if not plagiarism.
It's the Neil Patel of writing.
There we go. Thank you.
By the way, I'm curious with the whole helpful content update. I know someone has a site. It's basically all AI content. The general philosophy is, well, I'll have the AI content write it, and I'll tweak it. Mm-hmm. The problem with, I want to see what happens with the update, which so far has done nothing. But what I'm curious, well, outside of being curious, what I want to point out is with that kind of outlook, yes, you could take the content written by the AI, you can make it sound human. Mm-hmm. But it's not in terms of ideation, in terms of parsing of the topic, in terms of unique take on the topic, in terms of differentiation from other pieces of content that are similar on the topic. That's not going to help you. All you're doing then is taking the AI writer, which is, as you mentioned, scraping the web and just pulling out what's already out there. So it's not giving you an original take inherently and humanizing it. That doesn't differentiate your content or make it good. It just humanizes it.
No, unless we start training our AIs to actually have all of the nuance, right, to quote your upcoming podcast, right? And if you're putting it and arming it with that, then you're just going to have a regurgitation.
Right. At best you have a humanized sounding, because you edited it yourself, regurgitation of whatever Neil Patel put out on the web.
You know what Neil Patel did not put out on the web? Inlinks. Inlinks.net is a sponsor of Edge of the Web. We're proud to have them on board. Did you know that entities play a major role in how search engines understand and rank content on the web? Optimizing your content solely around keywords is a thing of the past. Don't do it. Focus on content, focus on knowledge, focus on qualifiers in that knowledge as well. You have to be bringing the best game forward, especially in our HCU, our HCU environment we're in now. helpful content update environment. So, hey, get into entities and define entities on your content and reach higher rankings by using Inlinks and award-winning software in entity SEO. If you're interested in what they can do for you, go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/Inlinks today to claim your free Inlinks account and start creating content that will outperform your competitors, as well as all of the AI content that's out there. Oh my gosh, Jacob's just cracking up. What's going on? Are you guys?
Jacob just sent me a DM on Twitter. Now Neil's gonna try to buy Inlinks.
Oh, that ain't even right. Ah, God. Okay. Third story. That's not really a story. It's a story, but it's more of a conversation. Some screenshots that kind of circle around this weekend over at BrodyClark.com. Could the length of your content impact CTR? And Brody actually shared it inside of LinkedIn as well as in Twitter. If your page can be read in under 5 minutes, it seems to be the threshold. Google is experimenting with several different labels that can appear alongside your organic results. Some users prefer content that's quick to read rather than a long form piece of content that can take some time to make your way through. So the labels actually highlight some shorter content. So there's a number of screenshots, and Barry just shut off the article today. This morning covering that. As you're seeing 5-minute reads on these screenshots, and this is in the mobile space, I believe, or is it in desktop as well? And Lily Ray also did a couple screenshots there over the weekend as well, pointing out less than 5-minute reads, which demonstrates a quick consumption of reading on these articles. But the point is this going to affect people's click-through rates on these articles? Inherently, if you're getting a signal that it's almost like a traffic signal, hey, this road has a little bit of traffic backup. You want to go another route that's going to be a shorter route here. Is this actually positive? Is it actually valuable? And can you get value from short reads? I think the whole time association to the value of the content, that's a tricky position for Google to be laying out in the SERP. What do you think, Mordy?
I don't like it.
Fantastic. All right, we're done.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it makes sense that Glenn Gay pointed this out. And, it's Google sort of catering to the, what generation is it? Millennial? Not millennials. Where are we at now?
We're at Gen Zs now, yeah?
Gen Zs, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Gen Zs. I lost track. So, here you don't have to spend more than 3 seconds. Here's an article, it's 5 minutes. The problem with that is it sort of incentivizes creating these short, let's say Google does that and everyone's only clicking on the 5-minute articles. It creates an incentivized situation where maybe that's not the best thing. Yeah. Where people just, churn and burn 5-minute articles. However, I do wonder, imagine you're on the SERP. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this and you have like a 3-minute read, 3-minute read, 10-minute read. 3-minute read, 3-minute read, 3-minute read. I might say, you know what? That 10-minute read is probably the better content because it's longer. So I'll click on that. Possible.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential inference there. 7-minute abs. No. 8-minute abs. Come on. Nobody gets that reference. That's from Something About Mary. Come on. You had it.
I saw it. It's a good movie, I guess. I just don't know.
Quicker doesn't mean better, and especially in the helpful content space, right? Yeah. I mean, we're trying to talk more nuance and more subject matter knowledge, but if it's brevity, that's actually a factor for improvement of click rate over to the article. Then, my gosh, yeah, you're right. Everybody could stream into brief and to the point articles.
Is that what you want? It's a problem because sometimes you kind of. Let's say I want one particular section of that content. You have a great piece of content. It's an 11-minute read. I don't want to read 11 minutes of it, but I do what I want of the 11 minutes. I do want something of the 11 minutes. I want the quality of an 11-minute article. In other words, I want the quality of somebody who really put in the thought and the process of going through and spending the time writing an article that will take me 11 minutes to read. But I just want that one snippet or paragraph from it. I think that like a jump link makes more sense than okay, don't read that one. It's 11 minutes. Right. Just read this one until link 3. It'll give you the right answer.
And what if you're a slow reader? And if you are a slow reader, literally that's now 20 minutes.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's terrible. I'm just saying. All right. So don't know if those signposts, literally it's like a traffic backup. That's my analogy. I don't know if those signposts are really that valuable, and I think it could very well be a detriment. And there's a couple key points out there that started the conversation over the weekend. So check it out. Go over to Barry's article, and also track down Brody SEO on Twitter and have a look at his screen shares. There's really good information very quickly out there. All right. We do want to thank our continued sponsor of Edge News, as well as their interview segment sponsorship. That's Page One Power. We're eager to share with you who they are and what they do. They're an SEO agency specializing in sustainable link building and strategic content creation, maybe long form, maybe short form, who knows. With 11 years of experience, they have built over 15,000 links each year for their clients and their client campaigns. They actually focus on custom link building, white label link building. So SEO companies that don't do link building, you might want to check them out. Technical SEO audits, as well as content marketing. Here's the deal, guys, is that they don't buy links, they earn links, and they'll help you write content that's valuable for your industry and be able to connect and pitch to different trade organizations and the like to be able to get your content published. So if you're interested in what they can do for you, go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/Page One Power, all one word, to sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. Thanks for joining the Edge team, Page One Power. All right. As we've been doing this, how many weeks have we been doing the Barry Blast here?
I'd say at least a month.
So we're trying to get those quick reads in there, right?
Yeah.
So
it makes me click a lot more. I like it.
Thank you.
Keeps me
short,
moving.
very short.
Yeah.
All right, short.
Less than 2-minute reads.
Less than 2-minute reads. Very good. All right, so our Barry Blast, starting off with, this is all over at Search Engine Roundtable, by the way. Google's helpful content update is now rolling out, says Barry. Well, yeah, it rolled out on the 25th of August, and we were all in the helpful docs, or the help docs over at Google actually updated whenever they did roll it out. So I think it was in the morning of August 25th, and nothing's happening. Mordy, what's going on?
Oh, no one knows. Maybe it was a whole big joke. Like, oh, hey, I wonder how we can cause a whole ruckus in the SEO industry. Let's say there's this giant update. It'll be as big as Panda.
Right.
And it'll be nothing. I'm going to sit around like waiting for it.
So it's just the
one big practical joke.
Google's psych, right? That's what you're trying to do. All right. So we're never going to see anything right away here. And if it takes 2 to 3 weeks to be able to roll out, obviously.
Usually we do. Usually you see a big spike right away. What's going on? Yeah. Where's the big spike? What's in the box?
What's in the box? Yeah, it's just not there yet. But we're watching the weather, seeing how everything goes down. But please pay attention to everybody who contributes on Twitter about that, because as soon as something happens, right, we're all aflutter.
I don't think you have to ask them. I think everyone will. Like the second something happens, like boom.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
You already have people writing posts like what to do with the helpful content that hasn't even rolled out yet.
The pages are locked and loaded.
How was that helpful? That was Lily Ray's point. How could it be helpful content if it hasn't rolled out yet and you're writing all about it as if you know what's going to happen? How was that helpful?
And then Morty took up the baton and started going and responding to everybody's post over the weekend on Twitter with one word: helpful or unhelpful. He literally was like the helpful fairy.
Bringing the algorithm to the people. Basically, everybody's content is helpful except for not Daily Melech's. His content is unhelpful.
Dang, all right. Nati?
It is helpful.
We're going to toss that. Blood in the water. Nati, go after him. All right. Core Web Vitals report adds URL level data for example URLs. So Google announced on Twitter that it added a URL level data within the Core Web Vitals report. Plus, Google also added that it makes some textual changes to the report to make it clearer. Yeah, so read more answers over, and we'll throw the link to where you can actually check that out. So Barry actually threw a screenshot up for these different URL level data, the examples of these URLs. It's not the whole kit and caboodle, obviously, for your entire site. So it's giving what, top 10, top 20 examples of performance in the Core Web Vitals report. Is this going to be helpful? How about that, Morty? What do you think?
Yeah, it's always like more data is always helpful. By the way, in the grouping, so if you have like a LCP issue, warning, not all the URLs in that group are going to have data necessarily, because Google groups URLs together for scoring. So those URLs are grouped together, but you might not have LCP data for that for one of the particular URLs in that cohort. Just FYI.
Got it. But there's at least a common denominator there for that particular group, right?
No.
All right, we'll check it out. Third article over there at Search Engine Roundtable. Google's expanding from sources across the web feature. So Google has this from sources across the web box that shows sites that cover a specific topic. In this grid list view, you can also click on a specific site to expand and show recent stories from that site on that particular topic. Have you experienced this one in the wild, Morty?
Yeah, I found this originally.
Does he cite you?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was for podcasts, right? Best podcast. You see the list, you open it up, you click on a particular episode, a show like SERP's up, and you see a carousel of websites that say, feature that particular podcast on their best podcast list.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you do that right now, just go ahead and search for best SEO podcast. Oh my gosh, look at there we are right there. That's amazing.
Edge of the Web is in the mini carousel also.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
All the time. Yes, we are. It's just because we put best in the title, and that was it.
No, you've been there before you did that.
We were battling that about 2 years ago. That was all a big volatile space, and we were just beating our heads on what in the world is going on here. Why aren't we getting our card in there? Because everybody else was having graphics, we didn't. And I mean, we were crying over here, weren't we, Jacob? It was a thing.
It was a lot of work.
I used to get the In Search SEO podcast over at Rank Ranger in that carousel. Ask me how I did it.
How'd you do it?
I have no idea.
He let the AI do it.
He did. But who he's going to let do SEO chat this week?
I actually have no idea. I scoured everything so I could have a graphic and everything ready.
Marion
no clue.
Ledbetter. Marion Ledbetter is hosting SEO chat this Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Twitter, we're talking about freelancing and SEO.
Ooh, I mean on the side, like a side hustle?
Or it might be that might be your main hustle. It might not be a hustle at all. It might be your job.
Just do freelance.
You can be a freelancer.
What do you think is, that's probably a good question to ask that, chat, is the predomination of freelancers as opposed to people that actually are employed to do SEO? What do you think the percentage of our industry is?
I don't know, because you can't look at Twitter because a lot of the people on Twitter are more freelancers or consultants or work at agencies. The in-house folk keep very quiet. So they don't need exposure and visibility. We just do our job and we do it well and then we go home.
And they're not allowed to get on Twitter while they're at work.
They're allowed to. They just don't care.
We literally had a 11 location hospital as a client here a couple of years back, and the whole hospital banned Facebook through their Wi-Fi. They literally would not allow anybody, including patients and family, to actually connect with Facebook whatsoever in their properties.
I think we had that with our first or second child being born. Like I couldn't get on Netflix.
Yeah.
While we're just sitting in that room waiting.
Yeah.
And I called someone who I knew worked at that hospital. Like, yeah, it's blocked.
Did you just leave and go home? Like,
I said, yeah, I'll be back later. Like, got some binging to do.
We took our baby and left.
The baby's here.
I think we ended up just going through my cell phone.
Yeah.
I'm still binging Stranger Things. I don't have time for this.
That's right. I can't be.
I did actually download the entire first season of 24 for my second child on a little iPod player. Remember the little video players?
Did they like it?
She I think she liked it.
Yeah.
She kind of twitched every time the intro plays now.
Nice.
We used to watch 24 drinking 24s.
Ooh.
And then for the season finale, it was drink 24 24s while watching 24.
Oof.
Wow. That's 24-ception right there. Remember to crawl out of there?
Surprised.
It's a terrible show.
Surprised you're here.
Why
They need to reboot that. They really do.
Handle it.
All right. I guess you can't handle the rest of it. All right, folks, this is the end of the show. Thank you so much, Morty. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Good luck and congratulations on SERP's up.
SERP's up.
So what happens if we actually optimize ourselves here? What's the over-under on that?
That's a great. He has said it so many times on this show that we are probably going to rank for SERP's up now.
I'm thinking so.
And that's not my fault. This is all Morty's doing.
Wow. See, that's how he works. Wait a minute. He is an AI. That's what's happening right
Well, I was going to say earlier, robots recognize
Put
robots.
intelligence in my name. Thank you.
I think there's a thing about robots can recognize other robots.
I'm thinking.
So I was wondering if that's how you caught your AI writing so quick.
That's right. That's what you said. All right.
Tell us, Morty.
All right. Good luck in the AI space, there, Modie.
You call me Modie?
Modie. All right, we're done. Thank you, sir. And there we go. Finish up there. All right, that's it for Edge this week. Make sure you check out the Michael Fortin first interview segment that we roll out about Thursday this week. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel as we get more snackable tidbits out there. And hey, rate this podcast.com/edge today. Let us know how we're doing on this show. Maybe not this show, maybe other shows. Who knows? You may hate this show. But
other show, like SERP's Up.
Man, he's like graffiti. He's just spraying it everywhere. What the hell? All right, from all of us over Edge, stay safe, stay well, and don't be a thief of cyber drift. We'll talk to you next week.